Hey there, Wellness family, Peter Gordon here. Thank you so very much for clicking on today's video, which is titled, How My Life Changed When I Stopped Lying to Myself. So before I get into the heart of today's topic, do me one tiny favor if you will, hit that subscribe button, comment on the video, like the video, and also hit that notification bell to make sure that you're notified each Thursday when I post a brand new video. So let's get into today's topic, which is how my life changed when I stopped lying to myself. Well, it changed in three ways, three really profound and positive ways. But before I get into those three ways, let me describe for you what I mean by lying to myself, and it may resonate with you. You see, I believe that as human beings, including myself, that we all have the ability to live a profound life, right? Some will say we have some level of destiny, that universe aligns to kind of present us who exactly we're supposed to become. However, society, responsibility, family, all those things can throw you off course. And when it throws you off course, you create lies within yourself to justify being thrown off course. That is what happened to me. So for many years, I pretended to like jobs that I was in. I pretended to be around people that I liked, when in fact I perhaps really didn't like them as much as I thought. I pretended to like things that I really was not that interested in. My point is, I was consistently lying to myself. And there were three things that happened that forced a reckoning, if you will. One was the near death of my mother. 6 months later, my sister passed away. And then 6 months later, I'm going into divorce proceedings. Those three things forced a reckoning where I looked in the mirror and I honestly started to compassionately critique myself. And I realized how for all these years I'd been really lying to myself and I really wasn't living my most profound life. When I came to accept that, I found that my life dramatically changed. Some of it was scary, some of it was exhilarating, but in the end, it's brought me to on a track, if you will, to start living my most profound life. So that is what I mean by I was lying to myself. Now let me tell you how that allowed me to change in three most important ways. So number one, when I stopped lying to myself, I became more self-aware. I understood who I was, who I needed to become, and how to get there. It just opened up a whole new world to me because I was able to see my strengths, my weaknesses, right? In effect, the self-awareness made me even more honest with myself. So that is the first thing when I stopped lying to myself did for me. Number two, I no longer became afraid of failure. When I stopped lying to myself, I started realizing something that I'd been doing my entire life, particularly as it relates to my career. I always chose a path of expediency versus doing something profound, which required greater risk. You see, for me, I would take the job that was the easiest. Yes, of course, it perhaps paid more money, but I chose it because I didn't really want to do the work. Not because I wasn't good enough, but really because I was completely afraid of failure, right? And that happens to a lot of us. And so we miss out on things that take work, that take time, because at the end of the day, we're just afraid we're going to fail. I know that's what happened to me. And when I stopped lying to myself, when I stopped lying to myself and became self-aware, that also became evident. And that's where I was able to say to myself at 45 that, you know what, I'm done doing what I'm doing. I'm going to drop all of that and I'm going to pursue a graduate degree and eventually into a doctorate into clinical psychology because that had been calling me for years. And I know I'm taking a risk at this stage of my life, but I'm okay with that because I'm not afraid to fail. That's what happened when I stopped lying to myself. I no longer became afraid of failure. Number three, the final one. When I stopped lying to myself, I was finally able to begin to acknowledge my emotions. Now that's a really, really important thing, and let me tell you why. Especially for a black male like myself. I was born and raised in Jamaica in a very patriarchal, masculine society. I was taught from a young age, indoctrinated into it. Don't acknowledge emotions, just carry on through. The problem with that is eventually you're going to fall apart. You cannot maintain that facade forever. It's going to break you. And if it doesn't break you, it causes you to break other people. So in effect, it causes you to have all these baggages because you don't acknowledge your emotions. When I stopped lying to myself, I was able to realize, okay, when I'm sad, when I'm happy, I'm able to acknowledge every single feeling that I had. When I stopped lying to myself, I was finally able to mourn the passing of my father from 1998. I'd never mourned the man's passing. When my sister passed, it took me damn near a year before I broke down crying. So when I stopped lying to myself, it opened up a pathway to say, look, man, if you're feeling sad, acknowledge it. Don't pretend like it's not there. And when I was able to do that, I found a couple key factors. Was that emotions are there, but they also don't have power over you, right? And that was the big thing, that acknowledging that I was lying to myself allowed me to confront my emotions. So those are the 3 ways in which, when I stopped lying to myself, changed my life. I hope this video made some sense to you and hope it resonates with you. I can tell you that the sooner you look in the mirror, the sooner you start to what I call compassionately break yourself apart. That is the moment when you start to live your most profound life. Again, thank you so much again for watching these videos, and stay well.